So this is the first problem on the delta math of solving inequalities. So let's go through it together. I'm looking at this and I have less than or equal to, which is fine. I'm going to do the same thing I would do if it was just an equation. So my first step, I see these parentheses, so I'm just going to use the distributive property. I'm going to leave everything else the same. So I have 1 is less than or equal to x plus, what's 6 times x? 6x. 6 times 1, 6, minus 5 over 2. All right, now I'm going to combine like terms. I have x plus 6x. Remember, it's like there's a 1 here. So that's 1 is less than or equal to 7x. Here's the scary part, because I have to combine these, but this is a fraction. So let's remember, who's the denominator of 6? It's 1. And these two need to be the same. They're not the same, so I'm going to multiply by 2 over 2. If you want, I can write that over here. That way it's a little clearer. 2 over 2 times 6 over 1. All right, well, 2 times 6 is 12 over 2 times 1 is 2. So the 6 over 1 is the same as 12 over 2 minus 5 over 2. Well, now I can do this. What's 12 minus 5? Well, that's 7. And then 2 over 2, it just stays 2. So that is the scariest part. Now I'm going to draw my line, and I'm going to move the constant, which is 7 over 2. It's positive, so the opposite is negative. I'm going to move it over here too, 7 over 2. Now again, I have a whole number and a fraction, so I have to do the same thing. This is a really good review on fractions. So I have 1 minus 7 over 2. Well, what's the denominator of 1? It's 1. So again, I need to multiply by 2 over 2. So let's do it. What's 2 times 1? 2. 2 times 1, 2, minus 7 over 2. Well, now I can do this. What's 2 minus 7? 5, negative 5 over 2. All right. Oh no, I made a mess. So this is now 1 minus 7 over 2. We just did that. It's negative 5 over 2 is less than or equal to 7x. All right, so now we divide by 7. We divide by 7. Oh no, negative 5 over 2 divided by 7. Who's the denominator? 1. Remember, when we divide fractions, we keep, change, flip. You can write those here. Keep, change, flip. And now it's just multiply. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. 2 times 7 is 14. So let's write it over here. Negative 5 over 14 is less than or equal to x. Another way I think you could do this, if the fractions scare you, is to just turn them into decimals, and then at the end, see which answers are equivalent, if that makes any sense. I have one more I want to try. I'll try to make it a little neater this time. Number 2, this was another problem from that set. So let's try this problem. Again, I see parentheses. And my -9 is not what I'm multiplying. It's actually this -1 right here. So I'm going to distribute here and here. So this becomes, keep it blue, -9. Negative times a negative is a positive. 7x. Negative times a negative is a positive. 3/2 is greater than -10. All right, this time let's convert this into a decimal and see if we can solve it. So I'm going to clean this up as -9 plus 7x plus 3 divided by 2 is 1.5 is greater than -10. Which numbers go together? Well, I have a constant and a constant, so I'm going to put those together. Remember, this is a -9 plus 1.5, so this is going to be -7.5 plus 7x is greater than -10. All right, well, let's do plus 7.5, draw our line, plus 7.5 goes away. So we have 7x is greater than -2.5. Divide by 7, divide by 7. X is greater than, I'm going to pull out my calculator. Let's do it. -2.5 divided by 7. I got this number, -0.357, which is obviously not a fraction, so that's challenging. But the answer they give us, I'm just trying to pull it up. The answer they give us is, that was the first one. Oh no, that's this one. Is -5 over 14. Which if you put it in the calculator, 5 negative divided by 14 is the same thing. In Delta Math, they have -5 divided by 14 as the answer, which is the exact same. So 5 negative divided by 14 is the same thing. So if this is multiple choice, maybe you change it to a decimal, and then at the end, you put the fractions into your calculator to find which decimal matches. I hope this was helpful. Let me know.